Welcome to Seven Trumpets Prepper. And guys, in this video today, I've got a really special treat for you. We're going to show you some science experiment work to show you just exactly what Genesis 1 is explaining about the firmament. And I want to give credit to the Most High for that, and also to my son for the inspiration today, because we were reading the scriptures together and spending time together, and we were talking about Genesis 1, and I brought this up to him about something I'd done in science. I think it was science class years ago, and so I'm going to show him at the same time and you guys, and hope you enjoy. Alright guys, so to put this in perspective for you, John's going to help me hold the Bible here so that I don't shake while I'm filming this. As you can see right here, we have a sink of water. Okay, now obviously it ain't dark though, where we've got, we're in here, got dishes to be clean, but just follow along with me for a minute and imagine this. In the beginning, and we're going to read to 18 verses, I'm going to read it real quick, so just bear with me. In the beginning, Elohim created the Shemayim and the earth. So he created the literal heaven, and he created the earth. Now, following this on down, he explains how he done it. And the earth came to be formless and empty, and darkness was on the face of the deep. Let's look at the deep. All right, and going on down, it says, and Elohim said, let light come to be, and light came to be. Now, we're a little bit ahead of that there because we've got light on the subject matter at the moment. And Elohim saw the light that it was good, and Elohim separated the light from the darkness. And Elohim called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And there came to be evening, and there came to be morning, day one. And he said, let an expanse come to be in the midst of waters, and let it separate the waters from the waters. Now, I'm going to pause right there. So, I have shown John that this is test subject A, okay, and this is for you all as well. What we have here is we have an expanse to separate waters below from waters above, and just so that my test subject doesn't mess up here, I've got to bend that down just a little bit so it won't hang. I don't want it to start weeping water up to itself, so let me bend that down. Okay, so here we go, test subject A, and I'm going to start filling the water the rest of the way. And in a second, I'm going to show you that once I push that down, there's a vacuum there. And I know many people may say this is so stupid as an example, but just track with me a minute and you'll see where I'm going with this. Alright, so anyway, we've got our expanse set there. And we got it in the midst of waters to let it separate the waters from the waters. I'm going to push it down in just a second. And Elohim made the expanse and separated the waters which were under the expanse from the waters which were above the expanse. And it came to be, and Elohim called the expanse heaven. Alright, so now inside the expanse, we're going to have some heaven here in just a second. Alright, and Elohim, and there came to be evening, and there came to be morning the second day. And Elohim said, let the waters under the heavens be gathered in one place, and let the dry land appear. Now, we're going to have to let that paper just be dry land for a minute, because I'm not that crafty to make a little fake earth under there. And Elohim, sorry, John. And Elohim called the dry land earth, and the collection of waters he called seas, and Elohim saw it was good. And Elohim said, let earth bring fruit and plants. Going to move on down here because the most important part, to finish up right here, is Elohim said, let lights come to be in the expanse of the Shemayim. So actually up inside of the dome here, per se, to separate the day from the night, and let them be for signs and appointed times and days and years, and let the lights be in the expanse of the heaven to give light on the earth. Now notice that says both of them are to be a light on the earth, and it came to be. And Elohim made two great lights, the greater light to rule the day, and the lesser light to rule the night and the stars. And Elohim placed them in the expanse of the heaven to give light on the earth, and to rule over the day and over the night, and separate the light from darkness. And Elohim saw that it was good. And it came to be evening there the fourth day, evening and morning the fourth day. All right, so with all that in mind, we're going to do a play-by-play right here. And what we're going to do now is, I'm going to cut this water off in just a second, but to recap, in the very beginning, based on what we look at Scripture, and just using some simple principles to apply this, it would appear that there's just nothing but water. And then this dome capsule was created to go down and separate in between the waters. Now, somebody might already start laughing at this moment, but keep in mind that it's been shown scientifically. I'll show a link in video description below, where that actually they took a submarine. They tried to go down. They found deeper water lower than where they went, and they tried to go down below that, and they actually bounced off. So not only is their water separated from the waters, but like the dome itself. Okay, so here we go. So while we have this dome under the water, something I want to keep in mind while I'm holding this in place is that in Noah's day, when the heavens above were open, the windows of heaven above were open, the literal Shemayim, where the expanse is here, to let the water in. The fountains of the deep, it says, were broke up as well. Now, if you notice, right now this is under vacuum, so if I actually poked a hole in the top of this, not only will water pour in from the top, but it also make a way where the water could come in from the bottom at that point. So that makes a lot of sense, you know, flooding a dome as well in the Noah account. But anyway, so what we have under here is we have this little ecosystem at this point. And, you know, it would also account for the sky being blue as well. But anyway, long story short, you've got to factor in, you've got an earth under here. And you've got the sun, moon, and stars underneath here. And this is, based on Scripture, what the world is described as. A dome under the water, with the waters under the dome separated out. And so to prove to my son and the rest of the world that, you know, we do live in a very special place. John, is that wet?
No.
I mean, sorry, I got a little bit of water dripped on it,
No.
but it ain't wet at all, is it? And there you go. I mean, it's not rocket science. It's not quantum physics. Well, I take that back. There's a lot of this stuff in the Scripture. It's actually kind of quantum physics. But, that, I mean, that really, in a nutshell, is it, guys. And I was just thinking about this today when reading Scripture with Little Man. We were actually discussing some things. This is a very simple design that the Most High Yah created, and it makes a perfect world. And you need to accept that you live under a firmament and not on some crazy spinning ball flying through space. At the, you know, I mean, the stars. If that was the case, then all the stars that surround us would have been changed around time and time again, and they all stay the same in the sky every night. I mean, there's so much evidence here that you can take simple experiment like right here in the kitchen sink when you're doing dishes, and see for yourself and show others. And I mean, Scripture don't lie, and it's time to wake up and put NASA away and all the lies away. And you know, I hope that's a help to you, and I hope that's a wake-up call, because I mean, I know a lot of people's just going to laugh, just like many times I've tried to explain things to people, and that's fine. If you want to, it's fine. But at the end of the day, it's just simple little things like that that are very easily to show that it's true. And John, you just tried it. Did yours get wet?
No.
And what do you think about that?
That's awesome.
You think that that's possible to be done on a grand scale? Now, I ain't putting words in your mouth. I mean, I just want your opinion. You know, what do you think? On a grand scale, that could be done? I do too. And so anyway, guys, until we see you again here at 7 Trumpets Prepper Channel, I hope you have a most blessed day in Yahushua.